Welcome to the channel, everybody. I'm Bundy, aka Bundy Games, and in today's video, we're doing a vehicle slash property tour. It's something I was asked to do a while back. I've been kind of putting it off, basically because most of my vehicles and properties are on my Xbox account, which is where we are now. And whenever I record on my Xbox, I have to record my commentary and my videos separately.
LJT here. You heard the expression, money doesn't grow on trees? Well, it doesn't grow in your money factory either. They're out of supplies, so head over there and start a materials run now.
That was LJT. He's gonna keep calling me because one of the businesses, the motorcycle club business, is one of my regrets, because in my opinion it doesn't really pay that much unless it's on a bonus week where they give you double money. Other than that, it's not really worth it in my opinion. And with him calling you all the time, it gets annoying. But yeah, we do have that business on this account. I don't have it on my PlayStation account. That's why I refuse. One of the reasons I refuse to get it, so we don't have to worry about him calling ever. But anyway, let's go with this tour. Make sure I clock myself in so I know how long this is gonna take. So this is the casino penthouse apartment. We'll do a quick tour. Looks like the rain is letting up and it's breaking daylight. This is the master bedroom. This is the bathroom. Out here, this is the sort of living area right here. Unfortunately, this comfortable looking chair we can't sit in. We have stuff all over the place. We can actually call and get housekeeping to take care of that. I won't do that because we won't have time to come back and see it. We have a closet over here. Across the hall, this is the phone we could use to call housekeeping. Across the hall we have the guest bedroom. So this mess in here was not made by me. We have two beds in here, a little desk, and the bathroom. So let's quickly move to the other part of the suite. Now normally on my PlayStation account, this area is closed off because I didn't purchase it. I don't have as much money on my PlayStation account as I do on this account, so I only purchase what I absolutely need. Okay, this is a boardroom. This is a mini lounge area. This here opens up to a media room, which I haven't purchased because it basically plays all the same movies that's available at the movie theaters. This is a bathroom for the guests. This is the large lounge area. We have a arcade console. We have a fully fledged out bar.
What's up?
So this is basically the party area where you can actually throw parties. There is a spa room in here, which is just basically a hot tub. I don't have that purchase as well. And the only other room is you can have a dealer where you can play blackjack and three-card poker. And again, I didn't purchase that because we can just easily go downstairs and do that. To get those 3 upgrades, it would cost me, I believe, 2.1 million. So, in my opinion, it's not worth it. I missed the room. Where is it? I always miss that room. Right here. This is the office area. Unfortunately, where it has a safe here. Guess I can open it real quick. Got chips and cash. And on this side is a weapons locker. Come on, bud. A weapons locker over here. And unfortunately, this particular office does not allow you to connect to any of your businesses. It's just basically the same access to the website that you would have on your smartphone. So that was a waste, but we do have it. So let's go. We're gonna start this off with my only. Well, I guess we'll wait until we get down. We're gonna go to Penthouse Garage and look at my first collection of vehicles. I may make a shorter version of this video, cutting out the travel time and cutting out the load screens. So in the Penthouse Garage is where I chose to put my supercars. Shout out to you, Optimus Prime. This is more your taste. This is most of these cars actually I won on the podium in the casino. I didn't pay for them. This is the first car to be released with the casino DLC, so I had to make sure I won this one. It's their version of the newest Bugatti. Some of these cars I'm gonna forget what they're in reference to, so forgive me for that. This is a Principe. This car I've had for a while. I actually purchased this one a while back because I didn't have any. My vision for purchasing vehicles, there has to be something special about them. This one, it was the doors. If I'm not mistaken, let's see. Yeah. It has the gull wing doors. So I like that. I'm not going to drive it out. Over here, this was another one of my favorites. I actually purchased this one as well. This one here, it was the wheels. And it has that futuristic look. These 3 cars I won on the podium. I didn't buy this one. I believe that's the same color it actually came in. I didn't change the color at all. Only thing I believe I did was added this spoiler on the back. As well. This was one on the podium. This is a Mercedes. Nice color combination. This one as well. I like the way paint came out. I won this one on the podium as well. Over here, these are my older cars that I purchased at one time, and it still is one of the better driving cars in the game. It has good top speed, decent control. It also has the gull wing doors. I went with I think this is a dark gray matte paint job. There he goes again, LJT.
It's LJT.
This is my Lambo. This is like from the very beginning of the game, when the game first came out. This was a vehicle that a lot of people wanted. Anybody seen my videos with Congrexus? He has this vehicle as well. So that's my version over here, Prime. Like this color combination. And this car, I don't remember why I have it. There's nothing really special about it, is there? No, it's really nothing. I don't really know why I have this car. It might have been a podium as well. I might have got it for free because it's not really my taste. But this is a 10-car garage, so that's what's in here. Let's go outside. I'm trying to decide how I'm going to go around the map. I wanted to start off with the expensive cars, the supercars, because those are all that I have. Hopefully this takes me outside. Oh, it's nighttime? So, what we're going to use to get around the map, we'll go ahead and use, let's go to services, terabyte, and request the Oppressor Mark II. This is one of the quickest ways to get around the map. Most people love this vehicle. You guys probably have seen me use it in my other videos on my PlayStation account. Some people hate it because it's used to grief, but it's really bar none the best vehicle to get around the map in. So I guess I'll start here with the OG originals. When the game first came out, I believe you could only purchase 3 properties. So if you wanted to maximize the amount of vehicles that you could collect, you would get at least 1 apartment and 2 10-car garages. So, and eventually they added more. I think with each update they added an additional till eventually you could get up to 6 properties. And then they start adding the businesses, and with most businesses they added garages as well, so you can increase your collection of vehicles. But in here, these are like one of the first vehicles that I actually collected. All of these vehicles are from the street. I didn't buy any because you can find them driving around. The way GTA Online works is that any vehicle that's worth under 100,000, you can collect it, put it in your garage, and customize it and even sell it. If it's 100,000 or more, it's considered too hot to steal. So that's their way of controlling the money a little bit. So another thing you're going to notice too is that all my collections have a theme behind them. This was original, like my fleet, like a business fleet. So all these cars are going to have the same paint job and my emblem, which I no longer do that anymore. But again, this was an original collection. The theme of this garage is coupes and convertibles. So I have my convertibles on this side, and all these cars actually have a retractable roof, so you can actually raise the roof on each of these vehicles. So I have What is this over here? This is a Maserati. This would be a BMW. This would be the more sportier BMW, like the M3. And of course, the Mini Cooper. Yeah. So all these vehicles are going to have the light gray, matte. Some of them are going to have black, but they're all going to have the emblem on the hood. This is a little Toyota. What do they call it? MR2. And M3 again, BMW. And over here, Mercedes. So, not that exciting, but again, there's a theme behind it. And, you know, one of the first collections I put together when I didn't have any funds. And remember, this game is pushing, it came out in 2013, so it'll be 7 years old next month, actually. So, another thing about the properties and the garages is I always try to get one that's really close to a custom shop. So if I ever want to take it in and do some work to it, if the property doesn't have a built-in garage, mechanic shop, that's what we do. So this next one, collection, has a theme as well, but it's also part of the fleet, commercial fleet, so it's going to have the same paint scheme with the emblem. And the theme with this collection is vans and sedans. One of the things for the sedans that I required is, well, because of my OCD, they all had to have, which the older vehicles all did actually, the emblem would be placed on the hood. So they had to have that. This is like the Charger SRT. Also Franklin's car in story mode. This is a Mercedes. This is the 4-door Maserati. This is a Jag. All these cars have ground effects, spoiler on the trunk. And this is the Audi that Michael drives in story mode. This is the Lost van. Also looks like, if people remember the 18 Mr. T, that would be this van over here. This van, funny enough, has a livery, a paint job that could make it look like the Mystery Machine for Scooby-Doo. That's an old Dodge. This is the newer version of that older Dodge. This is the off-road version. And this vehicle here, the reason why the paint scheme is different on it is because it actually didn't have the ability to change the paint. The only thing it allowed me to do was change the wheels. So that's why it looks a little bit different than the rest. So let's keep going. We have a lot more to get to and about an hour to do it. And hopefully this isn't too boring for anybody. If it does get that way, again, I'll probably cut out the travel time. And the last one in this area, this is the custom shop over here. So it's really close. All three are really close to the custom shop down here. So I can make any changes if I need to. And the theme of this collection, and I may break them all down into each separate video as well. Maybe I'll do that too. Okay, this collection, trucks and SUVs. That's one of the bigger trucks in the game. This one can actually come with the cap on or off on the bed. I chose to put the cap on because I have the two-door version without the cap. So this was one of my favorite original trucks in the game. I had to search because there's like different variations of this truck. For the one that had the bed cover, that was a requirement for me. This one as well comes with the cap and without, so I had to search to make sure I found one with the cap. This over here is supposed to be a Dodge. This would be a version of the truck I have in real life, actually. Mine is a little bigger. It definitely has more room in the back seat. I have the full crew cab and not the quad cab. But looks a little bigger in real life to me. This would be the Durango SUV, also a Dodge. This would be a combination, but in their case, they're considering it a Lincoln, the Navigator, Ford Expedition. This, of course, is a Cadillac Escalade. You gotta have a Suburban. So this is my Suburban, and this is the old school Suburban. So, and that's mostly it for the original collection. Actually, I actually have one more with in my apartment, the original apartment that I acquired. Maybe we can knock that one out first. It would be at the top of the map. Hit the boost a little bit. Maybe I'll get an exact count. I don't keep count of how many I have vehicles altogether. Since we're passing right over it, I'm gonna stop here. This is my, since he's been calling so much. Oh, over here. LJT, which stands for Long John Teabag. This is my motorcycle clubhouse. It's a requirement before you can get the businesses that he keeps calling about. You can have 10 motorcycles in here. I have a mechanic on site, so I don't have to go to any of the custom shops to get the work done. Here is my collection of bikes. Some of these are not customized because I repurchased them and just didn't have the time to go in and do any work. This is like a version of the Tron bike from the Tron movies, if anybody remembers those. There's actually a game mode which is similar to what they did in Tron. This is a drag bike. It's good in a straight line, doesn't turn all that well. This is one of my favorite cruisers over here. This is another favorite. You gotta have one of these. And this is Franklin's bike from story mode, so I had to add this to the collection as well. You can probably see all these bikes have the same paint scheme. That was what I was going for back in the day. And again, I haven't come back to redo them. I will do that at some point. At one time, all my bikes had the same, just like my vehicles had the same color scheme, but that got pretty boring, so I started switching them up. This is a Halloween inspired bike. Originally, I didn't purchase it, but this was on the podium as well. So it was a free bike, so I added it to the collection. The lights actually light up. It's pretty cool. This bike here definitely needs some work. This is the original bike, like my first bike that I had. And for whatever reason, I sold it and I purchased it again. So this is a new bike of the old one I had that I just haven't brought into the shop. Just kind of bad considering the man is like right there. I could bring it in there and have the work done. The same with this one as well. I just purchased it in orange and just didn't get around to doing any work on it. As well as this one. It has the original color scheme as well. The gray with the blue. I guess we can do a quick look in here. This would be the office where we could purchase the properties to do the business. This is my weapons locker. The bed where I can choose to spawn in here when I launch in the game. This is my clothing locker if I need to change clothes. This is the boardroom, if you want to call it that, the meeting room. You can also launch missions here. It's only about 1, 2, 3, about 5 or so. Not many, but it's something fun to do where you can, it's specifically tailored to motorcycles. Upstairs, what is this is just the bathroom, I believe. Think anybody really wants to see that. Let's go, bud. Wait. Did I go in here? Yeah, I did. Sorry, guys. There's the emblem on the wall. Ooh, this is junky too. This is one of the things that Rockstar did originally. I don't like this, and you'll see when I get to my big office. The more money you make, they scatter the money around in your properties to give the illusion that you're making so much money. And we got drugs on the floor. I don't particularly like that. I mean, that's just me. Unlike the casino penthouse, whereas you can call housekeeping to come in and clean up, this is not a function in the older updates that they put out. So, and I have a bartender right here. So let's go downstairs. Oh, wrong place. Let's go, bud. Okay. I was pressing the button, y'all. Guess I wasn't standing in the exact location. So, where I was originally headed to was the very first apartment. This was the actual apartment that everyone was buying when the game first launched. One of the reasons being because it was the most expensive. I actually got it because of the location and the ability to park vehicles right here in this spot. I like that. For like whenever I came just to check up on my vehicles for whatever reason, see if I need to make any changes. Now, even though this is an original collection, I've actually gone in and recustomized them. It's mostly, no, it's all muscle cars. Sorry again, Prime. This is, and this car, I had the toughest time trying to decide what to do with it. It's supposed to be a 60s Camaro. One of the things I don't like, and that's just me, and I know a lot of the older cars had this, the Camaro did not. The mirrors on the fenders, I'm not a fan, but It's not changeable, so I had to stick with it. So originally, well, eventually I should say, I was satisfied with the color combination and the wheel choice. Um, One thing people are probably gonna say, muscle car fanatics, uh, my wheel choice. I'm more of a Restomod type of person, which basically I like the bodies of the older cars, but I like the interiors to have more modern touches, and that includes the wheels as well. So it just gives it a more modern look. This car also has the fender mounted mirrors. I went with white and full white walls as well on the tires. This was one of my favorite cars from GTA 4. I had to have it in my collection. I was excited. This didn't launch originally with the game, so when I heard it was coming, I was excited. Had to buy it. Have a personalized plate that shows how old it is. This is a favorite of mine as well. One of the things I don't like, but there's another version that I have, you'll see that later, of some of these muscle cars that are low in the front and high in the back. I prefer a leveled muscle car. Like this is a Cadillac Eldorado. I like this paint job as well. It's a black metallic with a white pearlescent. Real nice. This is one of my pet peeves in the game. It's called a Dukes, but it's patterned after a Dodge Charger, but they put it in the Pontiac class. So basically, people so easily dismiss it as a Dodge Charger because of the name Dukes, because of the old show, The Dukes of Hazzard. But it's actually a Charger and a GTO. 67, or is it 66? GTO 67, I believe, mix. So that would be the excuse for making it a Pontiac instead of a Dodge. But yeah, that's one of my pet peeves. This is listed as a Pontiac as well, but it looks more like a Camaro. But they're in the same family. They're both General Motors cars, Pontiac and Chevrolet. This is a Firebird, and this definitely has a front end of the Firebird Pontiac. This is another considered Pontiac in the game. It could pass for either a Camaro, it looks more like a Camaro because of the lights, or a Firebird, but this is a wide body kit. And the only El Camino in the game, I had an issue trying to figure out what color combination to go with this car as well, and I finally settled on this color, and I think it came out nice, in my opinion. I'm gonna hit my arcade, and then we're gonna go up north for a bit and then come back into the city. So my arcade is right over here. This is the last property purchase. This DLC came out in December. And you guys are probably watching right now. Well, hopefully you're watching my series for the casino heist that I'm doing with Optimus Prime, which is what this property is used for. Oh, and I didn't give you guys a walkthrough in my apartment because I've already done that on one of my other videos on the other account. But to be truthful, I sort of forgot because it wasn't too important. So This is another 10 car garage. What I decided to put in this garage are all my armored vehicles. So we have the ever popular Evo armored cars, one of the better cars to use against NPCs, because it's very hard for them to hit you through these armor plated windows. It actually works, but Rockstar realized they made a mistake, so every armored car that came after this one is not as OP'd as this. I'm actually surprised that they didn't go back in and nerf this car. So to this day, it's still one of the better cars to use against NPCs. You can't throw any explosives out of the car, I guess, which is one of the negatives. This car came with the arena update. It's a Z, a Nissan. It's armored up, and it doesn't have nearly the protection as the Evo. And one of the reasons for that is because this car is supposed to be used in the arena war game mode, where you're playing against other people, PvP. So the car can't really be OP'd in that respect. You have to be able to battle with real people and win and lose and things like that. Guns can be mounted on it, which I've chose not to because it would mess up the theme. This one here is the Charger again, but it's the armored version. This armor is decent. It's not as well as the Evo over there, but it's decent. This again was one of the early cars when they released on this generation, the Xbox One and the PS4. So this was a free car that you could get if you played it on the previous generation. Over here we have another armored car. Oh, this is the Mercedes, the long V12. The armor on these vehicles, the windows of course don't give you much protection, but if someone is shooting you with explosives, it protects you, is it 2? Or you get protected for 1, and then the second one the car is immobilized. This is the Bentley version. Exactly the same protection. This is the free car given after doing all of the missions for Agatha Baker and the casino missions. Now this one has mounted machine guns on the front. You just get that automatically. Over here I have my SUVs. We have the Range Rover, same protection as the cars. We have the Mercedes SUV. We have the military SUV. This vehicle is actually pretty fast as well. And we have the big boy military SUV. I think everyone's pretty much seen the this over here. This is actually a contraption that you can control all of your businesses in the game thus far. So I can actually get on here and look at my hangar business, my bunker business, my crate business, my car theft business, the businesses that LJT keeps calling for. So that's a nice little hub right there. People kept asking for something like that and they finally gave it. Here's the office. I have money in the safe, but I'm not going to touch it. I'm showing this off because I've purchased every arcade machine. Because on PlayStation, it's pretty dry. I didn't purchase any of the machines. I just want to give everybody a look and see what it looks like once you purchase the machines. So it looks like a fully fledged arcade. This is like old school, man. I remember doing this. This is their version of that. All these games are actually playable, by the way. So that brought back some memories. This is the off-road version and the motorcycle version over here. So yeah, it's pretty fun. So let's go. We'll go back out through the back door since... Or maybe it would have been quicker through the front, but then I'd have to run around to the rear entrance. And again, I apologize that this is taking long if it's boring. This is the safe, not the safe, the vault door that you can practice on. I didn't purchase it on the PlayStation because it's way too expensive and unnecessary. And this is the little model that was expensive as well. It actually shows the little blue pegs, which are kind of hard to see. But the blue pegs, there you go. They're actually showing where all of the exit points are for the casino. So that was a clue. And the one on the floor is correct. It didn't fall off the table. It's showing that that's the sewer entrance. So, yeah. And I actually have a heist set up on this account. Just haven't gotten back to it. And I'll save that for a little bit later. There's the bike. Oh God, it's upside down. Let's go. So we're going to head out. I only have 2 properties in this direction. GTA Online vets are probably saying 2, why not 3? Because I didn't buy the hangar in the military base. It was a decision I made just basically because I preferred having it near my other businesses that I have. Even though when you purchase it in the military base, it gives you access to the military base to be able to go in, and as long as you don't cause any trouble, you don't get a wanted level. But I still decided against it. As of today, I mean, that's something I can always change. I think about it from time to time, but I'm good. This is, well, let me show this off first, because what I was gonna say a minute ago, this is my yacht. It has boats. There's this dinghy over here. We have the wave runners. We have 2 helipads, a hot tub. Got that same color scheme. This is the other helipad over here. Reason why I'm showing the yacht off is because the new update that's coming out on August 11th, which is Tuesday from the date of this recording, they're finally gonna put missions on the yacht. So the yacht is going to be finally utilized, other than just a place to come and party with your friends and just show off where you spent $8 million. So yeah, it even has my crew name on it. There we go. Very nice. But yeah, so that's going to be interesting. It's not going to be a really big update. because they're not going to be adding any businesses or any properties, but they're going to be adding more missions like co-op missions and adversary modes that you can do in the casino. Not really my cup of tea, but I will be doing the missions on the yacht. And of course, they're adding, they said over a dozen. So that means we're getting at least 13 cars that are being added, which is one of the main reasons I play this game, is for the vehicles. So we're getting more cars and yacht missions. Those are the only two real things I'm excited about. And supposedly we're getting like a couple of good cars that you can customize in the Benny shop. So we'll see about that. Oh, I got something to sell, but I won't sell it. The only thing I have really to show off in here, these little things, you can't take them outside. You can only drive them around in here, which you get caught up in the corners anyway, so don't know why they put it in there. They actually put that in there just for a gag on Austin Powers. This is my mobile operations center, my Optimus Prime. This actually has the front end of like, if anyone's familiar with the Knight Rider series, there was a big truck version. Oh, I can't remember what his name was, but yeah, that's what it looks like. And this is reminiscent of the trailer that the Knight Rider pulled into, which makes me scratch my head as to why they did what they did, and you'll see that in a minute as well. Yeah, this is my Skyline. So you can park, you have the option to set it up to have a storage for one vehicle, which I opted to do. Or you can have this part and the storage part be one complete area to customize vehicles. And originally I had it that way, but I renovated it because there are other options to customize and add weapons to weaponizable vehicles. So I didn't need this for that anymore, and I just like the look and the idea of being able to drive around with a car in your trailer, because this is actually a movable vehicle that you can drive. Hey there. This is my weapons guy. You can come in here and upgrade certain weapons to a Mark II version. I have a couple. I don't really do much of it because, I mean, you can add certain things to it, like the ability to shoot flame rounds and explosive rounds, but it limits the ammo capacity. So you're really limited on the capacity of ammo, which I don't really like. So for me, it's not really worth it. It's a closet to change clothes. These areas right here allows you to shoot the 50 cal weapons that are on the trailer. So you have 3 stations. So you can have 3 people in here with you, playing with you. And you can also launch missions from this as well. So this was part of an older DLC as well. And this is actually, what's up, Chief? Maybe I should have walked out the other way. A business, one of the better businesses as well, where you can earn money from. And I'm not gonna do the full tour of this bunker. This is the gun running business, because not really a whole lot to see, because I have 140,000 to sell right now, but it gives you 2 options. You can sell it in the city or in the outskirts. The outskirts will give you more money, so we always go for that. And this is where we set that up. We have our surveillance cameras. We have our office. I'm sorry, our bed. Because we can choose to spawn here and we start the game up. But yeah, so this business is for making guns, And once they have a stock acquired, you just basically do a mission where you sell the guns. So this is an additional business, because I had a subscriber ask about what businesses we do have in the game. So this is another business. Where's my bike? And the last thing we're gonna see on the outskirts is the Doomsday Facility. This property came available with what was called a Doomsday Heist. That was launched on a December, because they usually try to give us something big in December. And I did them once, and that was enough for me, and for most people as well, because most of the missions in that update was more frustrating than anything else. But there's one particular mission where a lot of GTA Online players have utilized to make a lot of money on. It's called the Bogdan Problem. It's a real quick mission, and they play it over and over again. You only need 2 people to do it, and you make a pretty decent amount of money for doing it. So that's how they earn their money back on this thing. But I use it, and this has a theme as well. I call it my R&D facility, research and development, where I come up with role playing, by the way, with vehicles that are slightly ahead of its time, slightly futuristic. This is a plane, but as you can see, the propellers are in VTOL mode. VTOL, that stands for vertical takeoff and landing, which is my preferred aircraft. I prefer helicopter types. And if you go in here, it has a weapon shop and a vehicle upgrade shop. So that was the reason why for the 18-wheeler, why I removed the ability to customize weaponized vehicles, because this thing can do it as well. So there was no need to have 2. And he again does the Mark II weapon upgrades, so that came standard in here. And we also have consoles here to control the turrets, the turret stations on this thing. And it's 3 again. So very nice vehicle.
Have a good one. 10-4. Hello.
Let's walk out and see what else we have under research and development. Prototypes. First, we'll start here. There goes the logo again. This is a jetpack, which is kind of cool. It has missiles on it as well, so it is weaponized. So we have offensive and defensive capabilities. This vehicle here is like a SWAT riot van. It's supposed to be to control when riots break out. The only weapon it has is a water sprayer on the top, so we can shoot water at people, like the fire trucks actually. So that's what that does. Over here is what I call my evolution of cycles. This one here, it has laser machine guns on it, and it has a rocket boost, and it can hop or jump, and that's my idea of the first iteration. The second iteration has missiles, or you can choose to keep the machine guns, but you always want to go missiles. It has a rocket booster as well, but instead of just jumping, it actually glides. These wings actually retract and extend, so it glides. And of course, the Oppressor Mark II, which is what I'm using right now, and yes, I do have two of them, and I bought this one mainly for the purpose to have it in here. This one, I kept the machine guns on it since I already have the one with the missiles. This one is just basically for show. Only reason I have it. So on the other side, let's go here first. This big boy is pretty worthless. It has these missiles on the back, but in order to fire them, I think it fires a barrage of 5. Yeah, I believe 5 at a time. I haven't used it in a while. But in order to fire it, you have to be at a dead stop. You can't be moving because it has to be anchored to the ground. And you have to have a second person. Well, unless you get out of the driver's seat and get in the passenger seat after you stop the vehicle and anchor it to fire. So, not very practical for a solo player. And even with someone helping you, you have to basically stop before you can shoot anything. But I have it because it was available, and it's just to funnel out the appearance of this facility. This, of course, is the Speed Racer car. And some people too, because of the fins on the back, it could be mistaken for a Batmobile type vehicle. It actually has missiles and machine guns and a very, very nice rocket boost. This car, if it had wings, it would glide. So it would have been nice if they would put wings on it. This is a more modern version of the Batmobile. It has the front end of the 1989 Batman movie and the rear end of the Christopher Nolan trilogy. So they combine the two Batmobiles together. It has, of course, rocket boosts and missiles, and sadly, no armor. So you're vulnerable in that thing if you use it. This tank has a very nice rail gun on it. I think this is a 4 or 5 seater. The only tank that has that ability to seat that many people. Because also we have the 50 cal on top as well that somebody else can fire. This here is a version of the Delorean from Back to the Future. And like Back to the Future, it flies. So it does have a where the wheels, retract, and yeah, you fly. Now, if any of these you guys want to see me actually pull out and demonstrate the capabilities of them, I'll have to do another video. Just let me know. This is based on a James Bond movie where his Lotus transforms into a sub. This one does so as well, which is a cool function. So this is Nice vehicle as well. And that's basically it for this location. My counter tells me I've been talking for an hour. I definitely will have to cut this down. I knew it was going to take long because there's so many properties to cover.